It's working. It's working. 3, 2, 1, it's working. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled, adventurous, exciting episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
I'm saying, I'm still a little bored, man. COVID bummed me out. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing all right. Are you guys on a going back on another lockdown?
No, man, I just feel like I've been on one for 13 months. I'm bored.
Well, we're going back on another. The Oregon's shutting down again.
No.
Yep,
Why?
starting tomorrow.
Why? What the fuck? You're already on lockdown. There's nothing to do. Like,
Well, because things were up and running here, restaurants were doing their things, and with restrictions, but open to the public. There was some small venue shows happening and stuff, and then
damn. That's a bummer, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not cool. I mean, New York City just had a punk rock show.
yeah.
Did you see? I saw like a joke on the internet where they said that the New York City punk rock show is having a benefit show for the people from last week's show who got COVID. It's a joke. It's a joke. No one was wearing a mask. I
Right.
really, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I get. I'm a very bored person. I've always been very bored. I remember like being 10 years old, as I think I've said before, and just realizing I'm bored. Life is boring. So
Right.
whenever things happen, I get excited. Like they're talking about doing music festivals and all this shit. And I'm excited because I'm just bored. I just want things to be happening. I want
Yeah.
new, that's it. I don't even know if I'll go, to be honest with you. Once I buy tickets for something, I spend all that time thinking about it. Like, should I go? Like, if they had a big festival that I wanted to go to this year, would I go? Because that's kind of on the table. The festival that I want to go to is saying they're going to have one. And I'm like, really?
What
Like,
festival was that?
called Desert Days, kind of a
Right.
smaller festival, not of, like what Sasquatch used to be, smaller version of that, which is fun because it's on its way up. But Bonnaroo's having one. I don't know, man. I'm bored, but I don't know that I will go to that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do it. Yeah. What is your reasoning not to?
The reason is like no matter where I go, when I'm there, I'm thinking about the next thing I'm gonna do. Like I'm already bored with that. I'm like, this is cool, but now I just want to go sit in my tent and cuddle with my pillow, and stare at the shadows on the side of the tent.
Well,
I don't
maybe.
know. I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't know. That's it. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I want to go to I really want to go to a show. I definitely want to go to a concert, but I'm totally okay. One of the bands we've talked about on the show, one of my personal favorites is the OCs.
Mhm.
Now, locally in Philadelphia, they're trying to bring shows back, kind of like but they have, I don't think they've had one inside yet that
Right.
I know of. Every venue that had a lineup of rescheduled shows around here is now updating us on those rescheduled shows, and they're all being pushed like September, October. And the OCs, which I have had tickets for 2 years, is like, hey man, the venue hit us up and they're like, we appreciate you guys. They're gonna have the show. You're gonna wear masks. It's gonna be fine. Like, don't worry about it. But please don't sell your tickets back. Don't cancel. Just
Don't.
hold the tickets because we're barely staying afloat. And like that was really cool to have a venue who's never talked to us before say,
Right.
"Hey, hi, you spent your money on us. Don't ask for it back. We can't eat. Just wait. We're really trying." So, and to that point, I don't know. It seemed like I'm not 100% that we've had shows here or not, but it seems like maybe Oregon kind of like just threw all the light switches at the same time when they said go for it, and now they're making you turn them all off again.
I think that's kind of what it is, and I don't think when I said small venue shows, like I kind of was referring to like comedy,
Art,
but like
you were referring to comedy.
yeah, but like
Okay.
that doesn't mean there wasn't any music, any live music going on. I think there was some outdoor stuff going on, but I can't confirm whether or not there was or was not any.
So what are they, since like you guys are probably at the same spot we were at with that stuff, what are they shutting down? What are your restrictions now?
All I know is the things that are affecting me and the people I know, which is, um, I'm pretty sure Helium is shutting down. I'm not for sure, but I bet because they're also a restaurant, they also have food. So I'm assuming they are. But bars and restaurants, any small kind of venue is being shut down. Or going to like not completely shut down, just not allowing people inside. So my place that I work at, we could still do to go and delivery food. So
So that's, so did that,
there's something, but they're shutting down. And I guess I need to be more clear. When I mean shut down, I mean not
restriction?
allowing people into inside places.
Right. So they've increased the restrictions again. So no, none of this 25% capacity shit. You just can't go inside. You're back to the DoorDash life or whatever, just ordering food, sitting in your house. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Oregonians. I guess my kid who's coming here with her friend is really excited because she'll be here for 3 weeks and be in Florida, which is fucking dangerous. So that's awesome.
Dangerous.
I am not contributing to the problem in Oregon, I promise.
I love it that everybody knows that Florida's fucked up.
And we're going anyway.
As far as COVID and other things. Like I was watching a sporting event on TV and one of the commentators they were in Florida and it was a packed Coliseum and one of the commentators goes, something happened or there was no one wearing masks behind them and he goes, only in Florida. He's like, yep.
Maybe. Wait, was it the fight? Were you watching the fight? Yeah. Yeah, I heard. I didn't know where it was, but I want to see the side note. Someone got their leg snapped. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. How do I see that? I can't find it.
Go to YouTube, look up Chris Weidman leg snap.
All right.
Big break. Chris Weidman.
I heard it was like a fucking chunk of wood being snapped in half. I was like, whoa.
Like, we don't usually talk about the UFC on this fucking show, but the most ironic thing about it is about 10 years ago, he fought a guy named Anderson Silva, who was supposed to be the greatest fighter of all time, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people know his name. And he was fighting Anderson Silva, and Anderson Silva had the same thing happen to him when Chris Weidman, the guy who broke his leg last week, they were fighting each other, and Anderson Silva broke his leg in the same exact way, doing the same exact thing. So the tables turned 10 years later. Chris Weidman had that same thing happen to him when he was fighting somebody.
So wait, let me clarify. Chris did that to Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
And then had it happen to him 10 years later. Damn, is that a coincidence?
And the funny thing about that is the guy that Chris Weidman broke his leg on just beat Anderson Silva. So it's like kind of everything is like,
That's weird. That's crazy. Oh fuck.
they both broke their legs in the same way. And how they did it is they were kicking. So really, the other person really didn't do it to them. They did it to themselves. So it was kind of like a mutual thing. Like Chris Weidman went to kick someone in the leg and broke his own leg on the guy's leg. So what it looks like, it wrapped around his leg and then he went back to step on it and just like
The
same thing happened to Anderson Silva like 10 years ago. Something like
dude, you seen the movie Kickboxer with Van Damme?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So you remember in that when he's he's having him kick that coconut tree or whatever it is? Yeah. Kick the tree. Like that's what this reminds me of. This what you want? Huh? You want it like this? Huh?
Oh, they do that though, right? They're training, they're toughening their legs up so stuff like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no shit. I guess the other guy is strong. Obviously has stronger legs. Like Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a hell of a thing. If you're into that kind of shit, watch it. I guess I don't know. It's pretty intense. It's
Well,
gross.
I
Gross.
find it. I am interested, and I'm glad that they're making money. So you can't really see the fights. You can see the clips on the internet, but they only show like reactions or who won. And it's like, I want to see that. I don't want to spend $100, but I want to
You
see what happened.
can find all the fights on YouTube. They're there.
Yeah.
You can just type in whatever one you want to see and say at the end, full fight.
Well,
You can,
it looked like one of the females like really fought her ass off and won, and I like to see that shit.
yeah, both there was 3 championship fights, and 2 of them were female fighters, like 2 of the championships. So there was,
Yeah. So yep, two bouts.
they both of them, both of those fights were great. Actually, if you're into that kind of shit, the whole thing was really entertaining. Actually, you know, it was a good night of fights. It was fun
Damn
to
it.
watch.
Yeah, didn't know. Don't have access. Did you pay for it?
I watched them on YouTube.
Huh? Wait a minute. What do you mean? Like then
Just
and there?
later
I
that night when I got home.
Oh, so
Like
someone watches it, records it, and puts it on YouTube like immediately.
however they do it, yeah. And there's other sites. I'm not trying to incriminate myself, but yeah.
Nope, nope, that's fine. Leave it right there. YouTube's a well-known spot. That'll work for our. I'm curious for me. We can talk off camera. That's fine.
But
I do like.
I have bought a lot of fights before. I just,
Well, all the fights that I've watched, someone paid for or whatever, like it's usually not that exciting. So I always miss the ones where people are like, dude fucking twisted his leg around someone else's leg, homegirl whooped the shit out of someone, had an emotional breakdown. And I was like, that sounds great. I want to see that. I want to see someone. I like that kind of stuff, but I don't like being bored. Like Jesus Christ, is someone gonna, you just want
but
to see all the good stuff. I'm a
yeah.
selfish asshole, but
Well, you could definitely watch the highlights and stuff. And
yeah,
that's thinking about that's mainly what I watch. So, they're all
that'll work.
everything that you want to see will be on the YouTubes.
So did they give you an end date to your pandemic punishment?
Maximum 3 weeks. But they've given those kind of things before. The last time it was like a month and it turned into 2 or 3 months. The first time it was 2 weeks, you remember, and it
Yeah.
turned a year and a half or whatever. So it's all, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I don't believe anything. Just
Yeah.
like you'll open it back up when you want it to be open. But I do have to say this. It does suck, and it's kind of like, wait, why? But also, I got to put myself in the shoes of the governor and be like, all right, I want to keep the citizens of the state I govern safe. I want to try to do the best thing. So, is shutting down the best thing? It might be. Sure, everyone's going to be pissed. But what if it's not, and I don't shut things down, and then everyone gets sick and dies in Oregon? Then I look like a fool. So it's kind of, I got to put myself in the position and be like, the governor, Kate Brown, is damned if she doesn't, damned if she does. So she's just trying to make the right decision, and everyone hates her for it. So I got to be like, take a step back and be like, if I was in that position, it'd be really hard. It'd be
Right.
really hard to make the right decision, and there really isn't, because no matter what, people are going to be mad at you regardless, because they have opinions and they go, this is what I would do. And so sure, it sucks, but I got to be like, hey, it must suck to be her right now.
Sure. I wouldn't want that job.
It must be really shitty to have to try to make all of these decisions. So it is what
Yeah.
it is.
I don't think that most governors have ever had to work so damn hard.
No.
I mean, think of it like this. You get into this business because the one before you, it was a cakewalk. No offense, I'm sure your job is not a cakewalk if you're a governor, but compared to the shit that these governors have had to put up with, which hasn't happened in over 100 years, is a fucking cakewalk. So
Right.
it's just like, la 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 la, what? Something real happened? Fuck beans. Like, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Most people don't even know their governor's name unless I put it on a sign for election. Like, what? And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, those people are my friends. They're the ones who gave me money. I can't shut their businesses down. Like, uh-oh.
You gotta make some hard decisions.
Oh, shit. It's like that fucking robot in Spaceballs. That's what Kate Brown looks like to me. No offense, but she reminds me of Dot, the little robot from Spaceballs. You know,
Right.
just yeah, poor little
Um,
thing. Yeah, man. But I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you guys get through it. Well, it's not summertime yet, so you won't sweat to death yet.
right. Well, yeah, we're getting there though.
It's warming up.
Yep, it is. Hey, speaking of warm things, warming up has nothing to do with what I'm about to say. But speaking of that, we wanted to remind you on the show to comment on our Instagram or YouTube. Always, if you have a suggestion for a band and album for us to review and talk about. So go ahead and do that. I just want to abruptly interrupt and just say, don't forget to do that.
Brought to you by Skippy Peanut Butter. It's okay. We can have commercials, man.
Yeah,
Public service announcements. We can do that. This just in.
Yeah, because I wanted to say it because we do have someone did comment and suggest something, so we'll get to that later. But how you been, man?
I was good, man. I mean, I am good. I'm still good. I was good a minute ago, and I'm good now. You hit me up while I was at the gym today, and I answered in mid workout, which is
Yeah, I
pretty
know.
funny. I was actually just like, you could just start yelling at me. I could get a few more reps in. This would be great,
Come on, Tony, you fucking pussy, do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I would love that. It's like, you're a piece of shit. You've really never done anything with your life. Those legs look terrible. They're gonna get wrapped around someone else's if you ever kick them. Be like, ah! The problem is these days, because I don't know why. But you're not allowed to make any noises when you push weight, which is
what?
grunting or whatever. I get it. If you're there's been always been meatheads out there and like, yeah, we get it. But the same time, if you're really pushing, you should be able to let out a squeak, like, ow, or something, and you're not allowed to do that. So you can only push so hard before the noises come out.
Why are you not allowed to? What's the?
Because that's not cool, man. That's not good. It started with Planet Fitness, and they made it something called the lunk alarm. There's an alarm. There's a purple. I think it's purple. I never set it off, but there's an alarm up there that goes off if people are making noise, basically intimidating other people. People get intimidated when Mr. Macho Man is over there and he's grunting and shit and really getting a workout, and then 50 other people are on treadmills just watching the news. Well, they don't care about the one person making all the noise. They care about the 50 people that won't come to the gym because he's making the noise.
Okay.
So they're trying to break it. They want everyone to feel like they can work out. Why? Because cha-ching. That's why. Should they have a weight room? Yes, they should. They should have a room where you can let it out. I'm serious. And make it small. You shouldn't let all these assholes in there at the same time, but you should be able to go in there with a spot and be able to get loud if you want to.
Right.
Just a suggestion, because some people really, really, really want to push it. So a heavy weight room would be ideal. You can rent the frickin' thing. I don't know what your policies are. I just think everyone should be accommodated. Should you scare the people in the gym? No. But should there be a room where you can go, have your friends spot you and push weight? Yes, of course.
Right.
Of course. Everyone, those are the people that went to the gym before the people watching the news on the treadmill, or before they made movie theaters in the gym with treadmill movie theaters. How is that safe? That's a question. Yes, if you go to these fancy gyms, they have a cardio theater. Some of them are bicycles, some of them are treadmills, some are just stand in place wheelbarrows. I don't know. I don't go in there, but I've went in there enough to see that it's a movie screen and it's dark. Mm-hmm. And you're running. I mean, shoes get untied. Safety first, people. You don't want to chip a tooth on a cross track or something. I don't understand. So if that is important, why can't we just kick their asses out, since there's a TV on every piece of equipment? and just put like, here, you can go in here and you can yell at each other. We're not going to drug test you or anything. Go in there, do a bump of coke, crank out a bunch of reps, get out of there, let someone else do it. Just a suggestion.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
you called me while that was going on, and we almost didn't have a show today. The one reason we wouldn't have a show is the same reason it would fuck up anyone else's day. What was that reason, Alex?
no fucking internet.
That's right, kids. Service is out.
It was like in the neighborhood of where I live, the internet was out, and it was out from like 12 o'clock in the morning. I call that last night. So but it just, yeah, it sucked. It makes you realize how dependent you are on fucking things like that. Like, oh, I can't watch Netflix. I can't fucking jack off. My fucking internet show, like my YouTube show. What am I gonna do?
Yep.
It does kind of, so I had to get up early to call the internet company, only for not even to talk to a real person, for a goddamn robot to be like, it's broken. It'll be back when it's back. Bye, fucker. Basically what it said to me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you told me on the phone something that I thought was pretty funny and relevant, that you couldn't find the phone number.
Yeah. Because I pay them for internet, so my bill is they just take the money out of my account. It's paper.
Auto-pay. Right.
Oh. And then I can't the internet's down, so I can't Google their number. So I'm like digging through old shoe boxes back when I used to get paper bills. Where's their number? And I was like, this is such a fucking modern, stupid ass problem to have.
Right?
You don't understand, people don't understand the modern problems that we actually have that are considered problems, but they're just really stupid things. Like, I can't Google to try to find the number for the place to tell them I'm out of the internet. That's such a fucking stupid thing. Like, I can't tell them I'm out of internet because I don't have internet.
Right. Which would have been solved easily if we kept some things around, like phone books. Don't have those anymore. Can't just look the shit up. You see, kids just kidding, but there used to be phone books. Also, you can't go knock on your neighbor's door and ask them. Several reasons. One, there's a pandemic, so I don't think you're allowed to knock on anybody's door without a mask. They're not going to open it. That's number two, because it's a pandemic. If they do open it, their internet's out too. So unless they're 95 years old, they ain't got the fucking number. That's why you need old people, because they're the only ones coveting old technology. That's it. If you need to rewind a VHS, grandma's still got that fucker. It's got dust on it, but she's been waiting for you to come over and use it.
Absolutely. And that person that you knock on the door is fucking weirded out that you knocked on the door, because no one talks to people's faces anymore. It's always like, why don't you just text me or send me a fucking whatever? And I did that one time because one of my neighbors, they're really cool people, by the way. They're awesome. And it's one landlord, one lot, two houses on the lot. So we share the landlord, we kind of share property. And the landlord couldn't get a hold of them, so I had to go over there. And one of the girls that used to live there, I didn't have her number, so I had to go knock on her door. And she came out in her bathrobe, and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I live over there. The lady couldn't get a hold of you. She's like, oh, it's just so weird, people coming to the door. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know. What am I supposed to do? Throw pebbles at your window? Like, what the fuck? Hey, landlord's trying to get a hold of you. Like, what do you want me to do? I don't got your number. Nice.
Can I get your number? I mean, you answered the door in a bathrobe. I mean, you seem pretty open-minded. I'm sorry, but if you're surprised that someone's knocking on the door, why would you answer the shit in a bathrobe? Like, if you're like no one, if anyone knocks on my door, I always answer like I'm being robbed, just like Eddie Murphy taught me, Mr. Robinson. Who is it? No matter who it is, always answer like you're the police, because then whoever it is,
who is it?
It's great. And then they're like, blah, 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 1 second. And then they're like, oh, Girl Scout cookies. What fun. Thank you.
I always like to just go, what?
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 What? I like that better. What?
It's also fun to answer the phone like that, especially when you know the person. What? Like,
What? Yeah.
or better, if you call someone and when they answer, you just go, "What? What do you want?
Well, what do you want?
Tell me you called me." I had something interesting happen to me in the last couple of days.
What's up?
I got into a car accident. Really, a lot of fun.
What? What?
So
I'm so
I
surprised. No neck brace, no wheelchair. I'm glad you're all right.
yeah, me too. Thanks. I was driving over Mount Hood to go house sit my brother's house because has to go to Cleveland every couple of weeks for his treatments or whatever. So I was going over there to house at his house, like his animals and stuff, and to visit my parents. And I was in Boring, Oregon, in Sandy, and at a stoplight, mind my own fucking business, and all of a sudden, get rear-ended by a fucking old man. How old, Tony? 86 years old.
Damn.
86 years old. When should someone stop driving? Maybe before 86. Maybe. I don't know. Just saying. Um, so what happened was I got hit. My head bounced off the steering wheel, got whiplash, kind of got knocked out. I just like kind of like apparently I pulled over, but I was still out of it, and then I opened the door and there was an old man standing there like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I don't know about you, but anytime I ever got hit in the head, anything from a little bump to a bit being my head slammed against the steering wheel, I'm instantly mad. Instantly mad. Like that is the button for me to see red like that. Like I don't care who the fuck hits me. Like I'm just like in the head, I'm like, ah, like instantly.
All fired up.
So I kind of like, I was like, oh, I saw this old man standing in the door, and I'm like, so you all right? I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I'm like, just fucking hold on a second. Went to the back of the car and I walked over there and I was like, sorry, I'm just fucking. And I don't remember a lot of this. I didn't remember that part until later. So everything I'm about to say, I didn't remember until like later that day or the next day. You ever been so fucking drunk the next day you look at pictures or someone tells you something and the thoughts start to come back, you know?
Yep,
That's
happens every day.
I feel like I was sobering up from a really fucked up night. And all the bad things. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I talked to her. Oh my god, fucking! I did this. Put my mouth on what? Like that's what was coming back. That kind of thing. Like, so, got rear-ended on driving a car I just bought. By the way,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I bought this car like 6 fucking days ago or something like that. I had to spend 3 hours at the DMV parking lot in Beaverton. Got it registered, insured, Oregon plates, paid the money. This is my car. Awesome. I got a fucking car again. I'm stoked. And within 6 to 8 days, I fucking got into an accident. The person I bought it from, she had it for like 4 or 5 years. Nothing happened. I have it for under a week. You get fucking get creamed. So get into accident. Apparently, I took pictures of his license and insurance and our car damage. Don't remember that, but it started to come back to me. So I basically remember everything now, but I didn't remember any of that later.
Right.
So, basically, when you get into a car accident, you should call the cops only at least so there could be a third party there. So the cops could there could be a record of whoever whoever was in fault, because he could say, "Oh, that wasn't my fault," because there wasn't a third party. You know what I mean? So that's why
Right.
people call the cops. But I was so foggy and just, got knocked out basically that I didn't have the wherewithal. I didn't have the thought that I should maybe call the cops or get a third party's, like I should get a witness, So there was no witness, but luckily it was a rear ending. And usually 99% of the time I
Yeah.
want to get rear ended, it's other person's fault. There's not,
Yep.
I had to put it in reverse,
Woo!
usually it's the other person's fault. And it was. Um, so, but he didn't want to call anybody. No one stopped. But so we exchanged information, apparently. We go, what, like, and then we go our separate ways. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden I come to, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? What am I doing? I'm driving, and I'm driving the opposite way that I just was coming from. Pulled over, kind of felt like I was gonna throw up. Everything was bright. I instantly had a headache. I felt like dizzy and nauseous. I was like, I have a concussion.
Yeah, you're concussed, right? Yeah.
I grew up wrestling and skateboarding. I've hit my head. I've fallen out of a tree before. I know what this feeling. This is a concussion. And
Right.
I don't think I've ever really had a concussion, but I've hit my head before, and I know the symptoms. So I'm like, probably have a concussion. So I get home. Everyone's like, I don't get home. Like, what happened was, my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend came to pick me up. So they picked me up.
Right.
They drove the car back. Everyone's trying to tell me to go to the hospital, and I'm being a stupid guy about it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital. And they're like, you kind of talking weird. You seem different. You should go to the hospital. I talked to my brother, who is sick, and it has to do with his brain. I'll just say that. And I talked to him, and he is in a hospital in Cleveland, and he's like, it's the first time I've ever heard his like big brother voice. He's like, you need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And I started to feel guilty. I'm like, thinking about his situation. I'm like, yeah, he's dealing with all this crazy stuff, and he has to go to different hospitals and do different treatment. And I got hit in the head by my steering wheel. I don't want to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. Sure enough, had a concussion. Waited there for a couple hours. And yeah, now I have to go get my car fixed.
I
And
mean, we got to file it. I mean,
I did all that, yeah.
all right.
After actually, before I go to work today, I gotta go find a shop to take my car to.
Oh, well, shit, man. Fucking
Yeah,
sorry. I mean, sorry to hear that, dude.
it's
Um, yeah, that's not that's a fucking yeah giant pain in the ass. But I'm glad. I am seriously glad you're all right. Um, not to take anything away from you, but I've had several concussions. Whole fucking bunch. I'm like Roger Rabbit, Tweety birds all the time, dude. Like I've hit my head cleaning my toilet, like cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. The cat's looking at me like kneading my leg, like, wake up, dude. I need food, Come on.
right,
Yeah, definitely. I've been concussed so many times. My parents are like, we're not taking you anymore. Like it's gonna work out. Like it always works out. It's such a waste, such a buildup and nothing.
right,
Like get soup and then you got, you have to. They didn't like watching me till 10 o'clock at night. They're like, we got to stay up with this kid. This is horse shit. We got work tomorrow. Like this idiot wants to, jump off a curb and get hit by a car. We ain't got time for this shit. But I'm glad you're all right. So you got the insurance information that just goes from there, right?
yeah. It's actually, knock on fake target wood. It is going pretty good right now. It's
Good.
so far it's
Good.
easy. I don't want to fucking put any voodoo on anything, but yeah,
Well,
so
that's
far.
why, like, if I'm that old, man, I just want to live I mean, it'd be cool to live in the city, have public transit. Don't really have to drive. I don't know. I don't want to be like, don't take away blah 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 blah. But hey, man, listen, I don't really dig driving. I'm surprised I'm alive. You've ridden with me. I'm surprised anyone who's ever ridden with me is still alive. I have nightmares about shit that I've done in the car, flashbacks, and people were with me. I don't know what they think about it, but I sure as shit do. So
Oh man,
I'm kind of waiting for someone to take away my license to just not, I don't want to hurt anybody. I really, 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 that's my biggest fear, is hurting someone else, either in my car or in another car.
Right.
With that being said, I'm still full of piss and vinegar. So if you want to play road rage 100 miles an hour on the interstate, I'm probably game, especially if you initiate. And everyone else in the car is just like 911, like, fuck, get me out of this car.
Yeah.
He's not going to stop.
I'll be honest, there's been a couple of times where I'm
I
like,
remember one of them where I was like, oh, I almost killed. Oh.
and then afterwards you're like, I'm sorry about that. I kind of blacked
out.
Yeah, that was luckily I'm high as fucking eagle tits right now.
I still from every year I have at least one of those incidents where someone wants to. Pennsylvania is huge on that. Even before the pandemic, there's just nothing to do here. A lot of people they don't mountain climb. They don't get their heart rate up. So, and people are, like, damn, this is, oh, I'm me, damn it. So you fucking piss them off in the car. It's on. It's because they can run away. Or, it's the number one thing. You can fight and run away. And unless you're me, it's like, no. I'll go to the next town with you. I can miss work today. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's chew each other out in a gas station. This is going to be great. Yeah. So I really am glad you're all right. And that old man's probably like, well, I can't afford $1,000 a month deductible anymore. So
right.
he's probably paying like $400 a month in insurance now.
I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist or rude, or I don't know anything about this person. I don't really want it. But I think there comes a point in time when you should maybe not drive. Like my dad is 75. He's getting to that point, in my opinion. Like he's getting there. This guy's closer to 90 than he's closer to 80. So I don't know. I'm not trying to say too much information about him, but he is that old. And these, I don't know. There comes a time when maybe you shouldn't drive.
I remember I love my grandparents have moved on, have passed on or whatever, but they were great people, funny as hell, realists, all that good stuff. But I remember my mom telling me a story. I honestly think maybe it was like a year or two. It had to be in his mid 80s, my grandpop, where she was in the back seat. My grandmom and grandpop were in the front seat, and they're driving my mom somewhere. And he goes up the off ramp. Away we go. Then she's like, holy shit, we're going up the off ramp. And grandpop's like, huh? It's like, the traffic's coming at us. Like, stop yelling. And he's like driving up the on ramp to the wrong way up the fucking interstate. That's not a car I want to be in. Listen, Buicks are nice cars, really comfortable, great for old people. Not something I want to sit in when we get hit by fucking oncoming traffic. Right. Jesus, they have this little candy dish. I just imagine my face with that dish just being stuck to my forehead for the rest of my life, being in an accident with old people. You want a mint? I got 6 stuck in the back of my throat permanently. I just smacked a Mack truck. Jesus Christ. That's the thing. Like, at least those older cars don't have kids locks. So when you see Grandpa doing something that's going to take him to Jesus,
get out of here.
Like, fuck this.
Duck and roll. Duck and roll. Just fucking.
Holy shit. Like, he was right. He does know a faster way to get there. It's called the wrong fucking direction. Oh, fuck. But yeah, I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad we got internet for the show. This is a very happy show. And we have people responding to us. To that point,
we do.
Before we good?
Yeah. You can talk.
There, right? You got to go to a body shop, so we're not gonna.
It's time to talk about the band.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're gonna talk about music. The band that I picked this week, Nrivana, my number one favorite band, the band that got me into the music, and the album that I picked was In Utero.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's what I picked.
That's the one I
listened to. Good. So what did you think, man?
I liked it. It's definitely an album that I've heard before, but I have not listened to in a very long time.
Right. pulling them up now.
How old is the album, by the way?
1 second. I'll just
Right.
1993.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've listened to it entirety. I've heard, certain songs off the album, in passing or whatever.
Right.
I was never a huge Nirvana fan. I was
Okay.
always a fan of music that sounded like them and bands that were affiliated with Nirvana and stuff like that. But I guess I just never. It's not like I disliked Nirvana. That wasn't the case. It was just I just didn't get the. It just didn't like catch me right away, I guess. And but I like this album. There's some good songs that I enjoyed, and yeah, I think overall it's definitely one of their best albums. I mean, in my opinion, I appreciate Nirvana now more that I've
Right.
gotten, and I did listen to it like 3 or 4 times, so I did like it.
Cool. Cool.
And some of the songs I liked. One of them is like a hit, but Heart Shaped Box. I like that song, and I like Dumb, Milk It, and Rate Me. I like Rate Me too. Those were
Yeah.
all good songs, and some of those were the hits.
Hell yeah, man. So for me, I'm the one who I picked this band and this album. So quick backstory. Everyone who gets into music, every kid who gets into music has a band that starts it for them. Where I don't know how to explain it I don't know how to explain it, but I'd imagine anyone who gets into music at some point, someone hands them something or they hear something and off they go. So for me, it was Nirvana. It was a cousin of mine. We're sitting in the back, ironically, of our grandparents' car, way before my grandpa was driving up on off ramps, and I remember he had a tape, probably. In any case, I remember putting the headphones on, like he was just like reaching. He has a brother. He reaching over his brother, putting them on my head. He's like, listen to this, and no one's ever done that. No one's ever put headphones on my head. I'm an only child, so no one's done anything to my head unless my old man hit me in the back of it. So I was like the whole experience. I was like this. I was like, what are you doing, man? He's like, just relax, and puts it on. And he pushes play, and it's like dun, dun, and it's Nirvana, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And he's just like, and my grandmother's like, Tommy. I'm like, what? Like, don't say it. It's like 12 years old. And I was just like, this is it. And he's like, that's all he's like, he let me listen to it for a second. Like, that was it. That's all I knew was the band's name was Nirvana. And then I went back to England where I lived at the time. And immediately, like, that was my favorite band. I didn't know anything about them at all, but that was my favorite band. I heard like one song, and then somehow I got a tape. But I've never been so embarrassed in my life. Well, up to that point. In any case, oh God. In any case, I'm on the bus. I'm on the school bus with all these kids, and we're in England. We go to a DOD school, Department of Defense. So anyway, they gather up all these kids, and you all drive like an hour, hour and a half, all to this one school, and long bus ride. And there's always there's always an asshole. There's always an asshole kid, and there was an asshole kid on my bus. His dad was the gym teacher. He was a shithead,
Right.
just a shithead, and everybody wanted to be his friend. I did too, because he's a shithead. Why not? And so I was like, Nirvana's it, man. I can't wait till their next album comes out. I'm gonna go see him live, if whatever. And he's like, Kurt Cobain's dead. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, that's not true. And the bus driver's, oi, watch your mouth. And I'm like, God damn it. Every time I say fuck. And this kid's like, he's dead. He's dead. I'm like really bummed out. I just moved to England. It's gray 9 months out of the year. It's dark and it's 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm sad. And this guy's like, yeah, the only thing that you're really looking forward to is dead. And I'm like, fuck. And so I go home. I listen to this tape. I have this tape and I'm listening to it. And I just remember listening to Dumb like 1,000 times. It's like, I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. Not a good thing for a kid with a low self-esteem to be doing it. Well, but,
He thinks I'm dumb too. Yeah.
right. Exactly. I'm not obviously I'm not going to talk directly about this album. This album is what like brought me into music as a kid. That was my first that put the hook in me. Every song in here I listened to it as an adult, and I'm like, oh, cherry flavored antacids. I thought it was laxatives. Like I'm like having aha moments this whole week listening to this record because you're 12,
Cherry
you're
flavored
13.
laxatives.
Right, like you're having all these epiphanies. You're like, oh, I thought it was about this. He's saying that now. Like I get it because you've listened. That was the first time I've heard fast music with
Right, right.
with
Yeah.
note. You can hear the lyrics. Like I don't necessarily know what the fuck he's talking about, but most of it I can get even now as an adult. But it was the first time I heard fast ass music where it was like the lyrics were still there. It's like Steely Dan on Crank. I was like, whoa, far out. So love this album. This is the album that did it for me. Brought me into the fold for music, and of course from there I dove into all their records. I was in England, so I was able to get shit that they didn't have released here. Heard things, all kinds of great shit. But this album is great, and I still don't know why. I know a woman who's actually a doctor, very successful person, and I don't know how to take this, but I remember when I first met her, we were dating or whatever, and she was like, I want you I want to fool around with you to the song Rape Me. And I was always like, should we get married? Like, is that what you do when someone says that? I mean, I still don't know why if that's an okay thing for anyone to say or not. I'm like, I don't know. A lot of things have changed in the world. Would she say that now? I mean, she's a functional person. We got a kid, a psychiatrist. Like,
Right.
I've never said that to a woman. I've never said, should we listen to Rape Me together? I've never, ever said that.
Right.
Don't think I ever will. But the fact that he can make a song called that in the 90s and just, I don't know, just crazy shit. And the music videos for this album were awesome. To your point, Heart Shaped Box.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched that one recently.
Damn, is that? I can't remember now because I didn't watch the video. I just remember him really. I thought I remembered him. What's the one where the old man's going up on the cross? Like, really, is that it?
It might be it.
There's another one that's really, anyway, maybe one of you guys watching knows what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, they made a lot of really eye-catching videos for the time.
Right.
Mainstream, never meant to be mainstream. They were just as shocked as everyone else when that happened.
Right.
Really, just got picked, and that was it. They got to make.
I watched some interviews with Kurt Cobain, and it's like he's as baffled as everyone else is. He's like, we didn't mean for this to happen, but it did. And
They likened themselves to being like the Melvins, who we talked about last week. And the Melvins, as you said, kind of gave them a leg up. Like, hey, this is how it works. And then all of a sudden, Nirvana's like, hey, you guys want to borrow some money? Like, we're fucking rich. Why? Totally insane. But that album is is a marking in time for me. And I, not just because, like, for many reasons, but if you listen to it just now, it kicks ass. In my opinion, it really does. It's awesome. It's fast, but it seems like it goes on forever, and then it just abruptly ends. I don't know what it is. To me, it's like all of a sudden the album's just over.
Right.
And the funny thing is, it ends with All Apologies, and that's their last full length album, and that's the last song on that album. So, kind of neat. Maybe whatever. But love it to death, man. And I don't even have that on. I think I bought that on vinyl, but I made it like a remix, and it sounds like shit. Don't ever remix a great album. Just telling you, just so you guys know, you producers out there, stop that. If it sounds good, leave it alone. Don't do that. Bad thing.
And see, that's a lot of the remix. Like they'll take the fuzziness and the grit out of, especially a band like Nirvana that's meant to be that way. It's meant to sound kind of fuzzy and rough on the edges. It's they fall into the category of grunge, so it's supposed to be that way. And a lot of time they'll remix an album and it sounds cleaner and more polished, and that takes away a lot of the things that people like, especially about Nirvana. So,
well, you don't want to de-grunge a grunge record. That doesn't make any sense.
You don't want to polish it up.
No polishing.
You can only turd so much,
Well, I hope that other people listen to this record and had fun with it. Maybe it was a time capsule for you.
Yeah,
maybe the first time hearing it. Either way, man, Nirvana, awesome.
It sounds like it was for you too. I mean, like that's cool that this album in Utero, like, you know, touched you like that. It hit you hard and it got you into music. And you could tell I could tell by knowing you, like, that your musical taste have been sparked by that. It makes sense now because that's kind of the staple of your musical interests. I feel like it seems like, you know.
No, it is. That is the band that started it all for me. With that being said, a neat tie-in. That's what we had someone who made a suggestion for this week. We're about to get into that right now. But that being said, if you have an album that started it for you, tell us about it. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Love to know about what it is, because that's where we're headed now. We've given you guys a bunch of, obviously we can go all day long with the music, but we're really excited to have you guys throw stuff our way. Honestly, personally, thank you. I appreciate it. I kind of thought that you guys were just clicking shit to have fun with us. So
Apparently there are some people that watch the full episodes. So thank you.
yeah,
We
thanks, man.
from the bottom of our piss and vinegar filled hearts, thank you very much for watching this shit.
Yeah, no, we really dig it. Like, you don't know, like, we're not doing anything else. So thank you very much. With that being said, a good friend of someone, I don't think he'll mind too much. I'll just use his first name, but a friend of mine that I've worked with in the past. His name is, I'll call him Rich. He's actually the first one who admitted that he watched the whole show too. That's not true. I had someone else admit they listened to the whole thing too. But admitted that he was fucking with us, and he does watch the whole show and just wanted us to sweat a little bit. Thank
I
you
thought,
for that.
yeah, because I'm the one that saw his comment and I responded to him and I just thought it was funny. He was like, yeah, you know, I watched the full episodes, but you know, I just like to watch you guys squirm, basically, is what he said. And I thought, I was all right, yeah. Well, we would do that to us too. So
No, yeah, you have the right idea. If you're fucking with us, you have the right idea.
yeah,
That's not a problem at all.
keep on
Um,
going.
but so what? So he suggested some music to us, and what did he suggest? Do you?
Elohim, it's a band
Yeah,
called, as far as we know how to, our stupid idiot brains can't, at least mine, doesn't know how to pronounce most words in the English language. So
right.
Elohim, and it is, what's the name of the album that you found?
Well, Rich said the album from 2018. So the only one that came out in 2018 was called Connect. So that's the one we're gonna listen to.
And if you can't find Connect on YouTube, go type in Elohim, Elohim. Type that in and then type in 2018 album. Full album should be 16 songs. And yeah, I guess it's called Connect. So neither one of us has heard anything from it. So this will be an adventure for everybody. And thanks, Rich, for suggesting the album. And yeah, congratulations, you're the first one. Just know, Rich, just know you'll always be our first.
He will. You will, Rich.
Yeah. We'll always think about that. We'll always be like, because everyone remembers their first, not their second, third, or fourth, but you remember that first, the one that just took your breath away. So thank you.
Well, now I'm sweaty. Woo. Shit got intimate.
No, Rich.
All right. Well, that was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves. We did. We do appreciate you guys, honestly, letting us know you watch the show. Chime in with some music. Please don't feel like we're not going to screw with you. We're going to be nice. I totally promise. We'll prove it to you. Rich was willing to walk the plank and try us out. So we'll listen to this record. We'll show to you guys that we can be nice. Won't pick on you for it. And just send us stuff that you like. If it's trash and you're screwing with us, I mean, we can't be that.
Yeah, well, we won't fuck with you, but we will be like, it's not for me. We'll still talk about it. We'll still try to break it down, but we'll just be like, yeah, this isn't my cup of.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's always time to get into those albums as well. But in any case, this has been fun. He's got work. I gotta go do something. I don't know, I'm gonna do something. Lincoln Logs. I don't know. Fuck it. Anyway, thanks for watching the show. Like, follow, subscribe. Titfu69 on Instagram. We're on, of course, we're on YouTube. So please, let people know whatever you do. Thank you for doing it. Have a good week. Whatever the hell, I don't know. Weekend, does that come first? Yep. If you have a good, whatever you're doing, make sure it's fun. I'm done. Bye bye. Thanks for watching another episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.